Greetings and welcome. This is Rajiv Makhni on the Gadget 360 show. And today we've got a really powerful show. Why am I saying that? Because we'll start off with the most powerful Mac ever made. The Mac Studio is with us in our studio. We'll stress test it. Look, we'll review this later. We'll look into it in depth later. Today we'll torture test, stress test it. We'll do so many things with it because they say this is a computer that can take it all. We'll edit multiple videos, hundreds of photos, color grading, 6K ProRes, video clips, all the stuff that will make any other computer absolutely blow out smoke. Then we move on to the Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360. Super slim, super sleek design, hinge that turns all the way back, great looks, great performance, super AMOLED display. It's got what Samsung does best and it's priced quite well too. And then I'm going to do some magic and we'll go out of the studio and I'll show you something absolutely amazing. Kohler's Anthem products. This is where technology comes into a completely different sphere. This is where I think you can make a big difference in your life. Another place where technology will take everyday experiences to the next level. But that's what I'll reveal at that point. Let's get started with today's show.
Logitech has launched a new version of its G Pro lineup, the G Pro X SUPERLIGHT. It has the Hero 25K sensor and sports a weight of only 63 grams, which is 25% lighter than the previous G Pro wireless. It has been designed with the esports pros in mind. It works with Logitech's Lightspeed wireless technology for extremely low latency response. It's priced at 13,595 rupees and is available in 3 colors: black, white and magenta. After a lot of anticipation, Xiaomi has finally launched the Pad 5 in India. It will come with a 10.95-inch 2.5K plus LCD display with a 16:10 aspect ratio and 120Hz refresh rate. It is also color accurate with a 100% DCI P3 color gamut and has a maximum brightness of 650 nits. Everything is run by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 860 chip along with 6GB of RAM, which seems rather inadequate. The Pad 5 will also come with 128GB base storage and Dolby Atmos speakers. It is priced at 26,999 rupees.
Our top story today is a top-of-the-line computer, the Mac Studio. You know what we're going to do? We're going to test this guy out. People say most powerful computer, most powerful Mac ever built. We're going to test it, stress test it, torture test it. We'll edit entire 4K videos, apply all possible color grades, effects, graphics, transitions. We'll see how easy it is to edit a video, render a video. We'll put a stack of 10 streams of 6K ProRes footage. You know, most computers will not be able to handle even half of this. But then Apple has said that this one can take it all. We'll see, can it do it? This is a big stress test, but then this is a massive computer. Not in size. In size, it's really small.
We have got the lean, mean and surprisingly tiny machine in the house. This is the Mac Studio, Apple's latest offering for studios and creative production houses to take up the entire load of work they have to do. The one we're checking out today is the variant with the maxed out M1 Ultra, meaning it has an M1 Ultra processor with a 20-core CPU, 64-core GPU and 30-core Neuro engine. It has 128GB of RAM and 2TB of storage. And the power this entire package harnesses is far bigger than the size of it. Now, to truly showcase the power of such a machine, the standard process of reviews can't apply. Hence, what we're going to do is stress test this machine in 4 different ways to truly show the experience of working on such a Mac and just how much power you can tap into. Alright then, time to sit back, relax and fasten your imaginary seatbelt because this is going to be a pretty fast ride. The first way we tested it was the one that studios mostly do: edit videos. We edited a 14-minute project in 4K with multiple graphics, texts and clips spliced together with many on top of each other. All of these clips used were shot in S-Log and needed color correction. So a standard base correction along with a stylistic color grade was applied over all of these clips. Throughout all of this, never did we notice a dropped frame, a pause or any slowdown. Everything was just as blazingly fast and smooth as it could be. We could even go off and open other apps, tabs on Chrome or a project in Lightroom, and nothing ever bothered this little guy. And finally, when it came to exporting the entire project, it just took 10 minutes and 10 seconds for the export, which is blisteringly fast. The second test that had to be done was again related to video editing, but this one is to test the ProRes capabilities of the machine, which Apple spent a long time talking about. For this, we took the clips we shot with the DJI Ronin 4D, a cinema camera. Now the thing with ProRes clips is that they contain a whole lot of metadata. The clips have so much data that in every frame of the video, the user can completely change the lighting and colors when they edit. So we went on to see just how much the Mac Studio can take. We stacked multiple different ProRes clips on top of each other on Final Cut Pro. 5, then 6, then 7, then we went on to 15. We applied a base color correction and a look grade to all of them at once and pressed play while the clips were rendering. And we saw no frame drops at all. Now this might seem simple, but this can slow down or break any other computer. It's making changes to the metadata of thousands of frames of 15 different clips and playing them all at once. And the fact that it does without a frame drop is a big deal. Then the third test is less about videos, more about photos. Many studios have to work with a whole batch of 400 to 500 pictures and apply the standard base color correction to all of them in Lightroom. So that's the workflow we tried to replicate. We took up a big batch of pictures in Lightroom and edited one of them. Messed with the lighting, made some adjustments to colors and added some final effects to it. And then we applied the entire edit to all of the pictures in the batch at once. And it did not take even a minute for it to apply everything. So much work, reduced to nothing but seconds. Now the final test is a little bit different, as it included all of the tests we just did. How? Well, when we repeated all these tests, we just changed one thing. We started screen recording everything, which is another added bit of processing along with all the intense flow of work that the Mac Studio is going through. And throughout the process, still, no slowdowns, no frame drops, just simple, smooth and fast. So that's how the Mac Studio does it. It has power and a whole lot of it, even though the size makes you think otherwise. So if you need this much power, you run a production company or just edit a lot of videos, the Mac Studio will give you that while saving you some space. It starts at the price of 1,89,900 for the variant with M1 Max and 3,89,900 for the one with the M1 Ultra.
Wasn't that absolutely amazing what this little thing can do? Well, let's move on to another little thing, the Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360. A new Samsung Galaxy Book launched in India after 8 years. Thinness and lightness of the design was clear to us, and as soon as we unboxed it, we said this is dramatically different because, you know, 2-in-1 laptops and hybrids are usually a little chunky, a little blocky. This is beautiful. Weighs just a little over a kilo, 11 mm thick, and despite that small chassis, there's a lot of ports and a lot of performance.
It's been a few years since we last saw a laptop from Samsung. After 8 whole years, Samsung launched their new Galaxy Book 2 lineup in India, and today we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360. A mouthful of a name well matched with the list of things that it is good at. But what are those things? Where does it perform the best? Where does it suffer? We'll get to the end of all of this within the next few minutes, and that is a promise. Alright, the first thing that was plenty clear to us when we unboxed the product was just how light and thin this device is. It weighs a tiny bit more than a kilo. It is just 11.05 millimeters thick. That's just a few millimeters thicker than the Galaxy S22. It has a 13.3-inch screen, but the chassis easily makes it look even smaller. It will easily find its way into your bag and you won't feel a thing. The hinges are solid, and they have to be, as the display can be flipped over completely to be used as a tablet, as the 360 in the name would indicate. So the low weight and small chassis come especially handy for its use as a tablet. Despite the small chassis and slim design, the user will not feel the I/O on the laptop is lacking. Well, all except one port. There is a USB-C port, audio jack and micro SD card reader on the right side.
a Thunderbolt 4 USB-C port and another USB-C port on the left side, no USB-A ports. And since the USB-C ports are on both sides, the user can charge the laptop through either side, which is a comfort hard to move on from. Flipping open the laptop, the classic chiclet style keyboard is waiting for us. While the travel is not much, the response is quick, fast, and something that the user will need some time to adjust to. The trackpad underneath has a very decent size for the size of the entire chassis. It is smooth to the touch and works great. The power button up in the corner doubles as a fingerprint scanner for security. On the other side of the hinge is a Super AMOLED display with the signature deep blacks and amazing contrast levels. The content on it looks amazing. It's perfectly usable in any condition given how bright it can get, but what it lacks, sadly, even at this price, is a display that is as sharp as the other laptops it competes with. The Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360 comes with only a Full HD display, which is far behind even the MacBook Air, which has a Quad HD display. With that, it's also a touch-enabled panel that MacBook Air does not have, so if that is a priority, this laptop will seem like the better option. As for video calls, the camera above the screen is a 1080p one with a wide field of view. It can keep the user centered through software if needed. It is not exceptional in its quality by any means, but it does the job when you need it. Coming to the power under the hood, our unit came with the Intel 12th Gen i7 1260p processor, Intel Xe graphics, 16GB RAM and 512GB of storage, which is base storage for every variant. With performance, it blazed past fast. It is super smooth with opening apps and big files, handles multiple tasks like a champ. Too many tabs on Chrome? No problem. Notion in the background? No problem. Playing a 4K clip on the side? No problem. Spotify? No problem. Everything is smooth and fast as it should be. Editing photos is a treat. Editing videos is only possible if it is light, and it works very well and cohesively with many of Samsung's own apps which you find on the phones and tablets. As for the battery, things look much better than expected. We regularly got 10 to 12 hours of use out of it, which is more than amazing for a laptop with an Intel processor. So now we know what it is good with, where it falters a little. But the most important question is this: who is this laptop meant for? For the people who want a Windows-based 2-in-1 laptop, half a terabyte of storage at minimum, a slim and lightweight designed reliable battery life, and a bright and contrasty display. If you want even better battery life with more power and a sharper display, the M1 MacBook Pro might be better. But if the other stated factors are more important, the Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360 will be the better choice at the price of 99,990 rupees.
Let's take a quick break right now. On the show, when we come back, lots more happening. And now it's time for a little bit of magic. Everything changes. Where I am changes. What I'm wearing changes. I don't change, but the magic of editing is going to now teleport me to another location to share a mystery product with the viewers. You know, this is what I really, really love about technology. It's not just about smartphones and laptops and everything else. Great technology comes in the most surprising of places. Take a look. Today we're going to play a little bit of a game. I'm going to show you some technology, but you have to guess which category am I talking about, because this is very difficult to discern because it's got a huge amount of futuristic technology. It's got a lot of sensors, controls, a beautiful screen. It looks like high-end AV equipment, but it's not. It's a completely different category, a very unusual category that we do not usually cover on the show. So here it is. See this right here? Press a button and see what happens. Slowly, very beautifully, the icons come on, black and white. You can control the brightness. You can control the haptic feedback. It'll give you haptic feedback. It'll give you a lot of controls. So you're thinking smart home control. You're thinking some artificial intelligence. You're thinking maybe a home theater system. All of those guesses are wrong. But but it looks absolutely fantastic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the second part of this. I think that's where I'm going to reveal what category of technology this is. Alright, the Sherlock Holmes clues game continues out here. Now I'm showing you a different part. So that was the digital part of it. This one is slightly more mechanical, but still absolutely beautiful. So what does this look like? Nice big control out here. You have knobs out here. Each of them have knurling on them. Meanwhile, I'm going to just press one button. You can hear a little bit of sound, but I'm not showing you what's happening. But what does it sound like? This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most advanced shower systems on the planet from Kohler. It's actually called the Anthem valve control system, or a shower system as they have it. This is absolutely brilliant. You're thinking, really? This is a shower system? That's what I also thought. And then the tech behind it is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give you a bit of a demo right now. What we started off with is one part of the shower system. I'm going to show you a lot more. So now that I've revealed that this technology is all a shower system, it's not AV, it's not a smart home remote control, it's not something that is controlling your home theater. So this is the Kohler, the digital part of it, of their Anthem valves and controls. This is the digital one. Gives you control over 6 components. And what 6 components? What does it mean? 6 shower components. What all can you control from the flow? How many liters per minute? It'll give you 2 different controls in terms of temperature. What does that mean? You can actually have control over maybe the overhead shower is at a particular temperature, and maybe the other one, which is a little lower, which is called body shower temperature, can be in a different control zone. You can actually set, for instance, if I just press this button, that's just one. Press another one. And now we've got 2 different systems working at the same time. Now, lots and lots of things out here. Let's take a look at all the functionality of the digital Anthem system.
The Anthem digital valve control, as simple as it looks, is a marvel, both in operation and aesthetics. When switched off, the dial looks sleek with matte glass slab around it. When the button in the middle of the dial is pressed, the controls switch on. The screen, even though black and matte, shows all the options in a striking white shade that makes them easily visible and usable. Pressing any button gives the user haptic feedback, so the user can be sure the input was detected. Through the buttons on the panel, the user can select which outlet they want the water to flow out of, the way it will flow out, and how much of it will flow out. The user can also control the exact temperature of the water they need. If they're using more than one outlet, they can set 2 different temperatures, so they can get hot water from the body jets while slightly cooler water from the shower at the top. Very much like a smart spa right inside their bathroom. The temperature changes come into effect within a fraction of a second. And if the user wants to use different settings on different days of the week, or if the multiple users use the same shower, they can select all the settings that cater to them and make a preset out of it. So during the next shower, all that is needed is to select the preset and the user will be good to go. This also comes in handy for kids, as the parent can select a temperature limit for their safety. The digital valve control can work with any shower setup, no matter the number of outlets, and each outlet can be configured to a different icon on the screen during the initial setup. It can be located anywhere within a 10-meter radius of the brass valve and is also rated for IPX4 water and dust resistance. The valve performs well as it has an industry-leading flow capacity of 85 liters per minute. And after every shower, the user gets the exact details of the time spent in the shower along with the water used up while in it, which is smart and also avoids the user from being wasteful. The digital valve control will be a marvelous and beautiful addition to any bathroom based on just how capable it is. And hence, for the premium price of 3 lakh rupees, we will highly recommend this luxurious product to upgrade your bathroom with technology.
So I showed you a little bit of a demo of that entire digital system. Now let's get down to the mechanical one that I showed you, where you all thought that it was actually rain control. But it is rain control because there are 6 components out here, right? So this is the thermostat. This is the one that will give you all the control over the temperature of the water you want. Now, very interestingly, there are sensors built in that make sure that whatever temperature you've actually asked for, it delivers exactly that. After, of course, that first initial whatever is in your pipe, cold water or warm water that you don't want, once that is purged, then you can have the perfect control over temperature. Very precise and very, very accurate. Once you've got the temperature set in this big, heavy weighted control out here, anything that you press from here, for instance, we spoke about the one which is to do with rain. That's the rain shower. Now 52 liters total is the capacity of the manual control, the mechanical one, and 85 out there. And 40 for each, 40 liters of water is something I can get from here just by moving this up and down. All of it is controlled by this with a valve inside that is a very heavy duty brass made valve. So it's going to give you the exact flow that you want, exact temperature that you want, absolutely and totally accurate. I've given you a small little demo. Let's take a look deeper into the system.
Now, time for something even simpler than the digital valve control we just talked about. This is the mechanical valve control. It consists of a big dial and buttons that double as dials. And before anything else, we need to appreciate just how magnificent this panel looks. All the dials are precisely machined with knurling around them that makes them look good and also offers grip for soapy fingers. They look exactly like the most premium audio equipment, just more luxurious. But as good and luxurious as it looks, the working is as simple as it can be. The biggest dial simply controls the temperature of the water coming out of all outlets. And all of the smaller buttons beside it control which outlet the water will come out of and the way it will come out. It could be simple water droplets coming out straight or streams of water swiveling out of the shower head. The user turns them on or off by pressing the buttons. When the button is pressed, it lifts and can be used as a dial to control how much water comes out of the outlets. It can be reduced to mist or maxed out to the maximum amount of flow possible out of the outlet. And even with all the functions it performs, the dials are easy to figure out and even easier to clean. The mechanical valve control has 3 different variants which differ in the number of buttons they offer, and all of them come in 5 beautiful finishes. The brass valve in the case of this mechanism is no slouch either. It has a maximum flow capacity of 85 liters per minute, and an individual outlet can handle 40 liters per minute, which, even if not the best, is pretty close. And there you have it, the Anthem mechanical valve control. It is simple, straightforward, built with extreme precision in every department. And at the starting price of just 70,000, it is an amazing deal and a very elegant, concise and simple solution to your showering needs.
So that then was the Kohler Anthem valve and control system, their shower system out here. I think this is where technology finally comes into all those areas where you never think of it, right? Technology in a phone, obvious, in a laptop, obvious. But when it comes into a shower system, a valve control system like this, with so many features, so much of tech, this is where technology really makes a difference. I hope more and more of tech like this is something we get to review on the show.